Okay, today you are welcome to a tutorial on how to do the basics of Scratch. So first, as you can see, I'm in the original Google page, and I'll just open Scratch like this. Scratch Magic Program Share. I'll click this link. Then you click create, and then it should take you to the loading screen. Once this is done, it will open this page where you can see a Scratchcat, which is the website default, and the costume, sounds, and code. So I'll start off with the basic scripting. So let's start off with when the green flag is clicked. Now this right here is the green flag, and when this button right here is clicked, this scripting will start. So let's say when the green flag is clicked, move 10 steps. See, now anytime I click, the Scratchcat will move 10 steps. And as you can see, if I put this in a forever loop, something that never ends, when the green flag is clicked, it will forever be moving 10 steps. Okay, to look like this. And let's say anytime the green flag is clicked, we want it to move to this position. We don't always have to drag it back here, because as you can see, I'm always dragging it back. We can just go back to motion, and we'll click on this go to, but you might want to set the Scratchcat's position so that when the green flag is clicked, it will always respond at this singular moment, like that. Okay, let's restart this. Now I'll teach you each and every single one of the category. This is motion. I think we all know what motion is. Motion is like moving. If you want your sprite to move. This is costumes right here. If you click on here, you can see the Scratchcat costume, and these are costume scripts so that like this. Next costume. So anytime when the green flag is clicked, it will move start from this costume and then this costume. When the green flag is clicked, it'll switch costume. And when the green flag is clicked, since this is already the last costume, it will switch back to this like a loop anytime it's clicked. So even if there's like a second costume, let's say like this, yeah, like that, it'll just repeat. You see the costume I just made like this is right here, because anytime the green flag is clicked, it will move to the next costume. And once it hits the final costume and the green flag is clicked, it will go back to the first, causing it to look like this. Okay, that's what this block does right here. This is backdrop, we'll get to that in a minute, and this is text. So when the green flag is clicked, you can make your sprite say something like when the green flag is clicked, say hello for 2 seconds, and when the green flag is clicked, hello, there you go, it says it for 2 seconds, and then the scripting is off. And if we move to the next one, which is sound. Now sound, I don't think you can hear because we're live, you won't be actually hear the sound, but if this button is pressed, it will start playing sound. And if you go to this category right here, which is sound, you can actually change the sound you want to be hearing, like this. Now all of these actually have sounds, but you can't hear them because we're in live. So you can just change the sound. It's kind of like costume, but instead of designing your character, you design sound. You can make it faster, slower, louder, softer, mute, even mute the sound, fade in, fade out, reverse, and robot. It's just like a sound effect. And then this is volume on how loud you want your sound to be. And this is events. Now, events only happen once in a while. That's what they're normally used for. But here in Scratch, events are something that occur when something is when something is supposed to be triggered or activated. For an example, when the green flag is clicked, go to a random position. Now, since this is actually supposed to be a once in a thing, because like when the green flag is clicked, you're actually supposed to already do your scripting. Since it's actually just a very short script, as you can see, it's only 3 full blocks, it'll look like this. Now, if you want the moving to be slower, we can always use controls. Now, controls like control everything in the game. They're like operators that tell you how something will go. Like when the green flag is clicked, if sensing mouse pointer, which is my mouse, then it'll go to a random position. So anytime I touch it, it'll go to a random position. Like that. That's what controls are. They activate something, and they are very important. Like they make up 60% of usage in Scratch coding. And this is clone. Now these 3 blocks are clone purpose. Now I'll get to a clone in a minute because it's actually like a whole nother scripting. And this is sensing. Now, sensing is an operator that senses or detects something when you want it to be detected. For an example, I just a few seconds ago, I did like this. When the green flag is clicked, I grabbed this touching mouse pointer, because if it's sensing my mouse pointer, then it'll operate what I commanded to do. So that is sensing it, like mouse or any sprite, because you can just get another sprite, and if this sprite is touching this sprite, you can use sensing. If this sprite is touching the second sprite, it'll just do whatever you command it to do. So that's the point. And some blocks actually were not actually explained for what they do. Like mouse X, mouse Y, mouse down. You might be confused of what these blocks do. Even set mode to draggable, loudness, timer, reset timer, all those blocks. Those are actually kind of advanced, so I won't do them this time. This is just, now you can see here that there are when space key is pressed, when space is pressed. Now what's the difference between these two? Because if you go to events, it has the same exact block. You see, they're the same. And if we go to sensing, they're the same. Well, this is something that you only do once. This is something that will occur continuously. Let me show you. Okay, let me use up arrow key, and I'll use this one down arrow key. Now, what this is like, this one, it'll only happen. It's not like you just press it, it'll activate. That's it. You don't actually do it again or more than one time. It's not a repeating process. But this one is a repeating process. So if you just hold down, it will continue the scripting, continue until you release the key. You get what I mean? Okay. We now operators. Operators. What are operators? Operators are like something that would make sure something is going on. Now, sensing causes something to happen. Operators make sure that thing is happening in a specific scripting. For an example, if something is greater than something, then something will happen. I'm not sure if you get what I mean. So let's say if space and the left arrow key is pressed, then something will happen under this scripting. I'll just put something in there to cause something to happen. For an example, move 10 steps. So if, let me quickly drag the sprite here. If space and left arrow key pressed, it'll move 10 steps. So I'm going to press my arrow keys and you'll see the sprite moving. Now see, I'm pressing space, it's not moving. I'm pressing my left or right arrow key, it's not moving. But if I press the two of them at the same time, there you go, it moves. And very smoothly. But if we have used this scripting right here, like move 10 steps, it won't move as smooth. Wait, let me show you right here. I'll drag the sprite here and up, 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 up. See, it just triggers once, the sensoring is done, scripting is done. Trigger once, press it once, the scripting does its thing. It's supposed to actually be like a continuous scripting, like continuous sequence of scripting. Scripting is so long, it's actually used for long scripting purpose, but that's not what we're going to do here. Now, if you actually need tutorials on specific things, there's always a tutorial button where it can teach you how to do basic things in Scratch. But I'm gonna start by simple coding that you can try for yourself. So we'll start off by when the green flag is clicked. And then we'll say forever if, so like the forever will make sure this thing is always going on and it will never stop. The scripting will always be alert and it will never stop. Something will never stop. And if, it means the if then block means if something has stopped, if it hasn't stopped, if it should trigger, if it shouldn't trigger, if it will jump or if it won't jump. And so forever if up arrow key is pressed, change Y, because you know X and Y. X is, let me choose a backdrop that will make this easier. Yes, X and Y grid. You can see here this is X and this is Y. So since up arrow key is pressed, we're gonna make sure the Y changes by 10, and then if the down arrow key is pressed, we'll make sure it changes by -10, so that you can see this is 0. If 10 is pressed, it will start increasing, and it will increase until it gets to 180, which is the Scratch highest Y point. And it will, if you press down, it'll go down until it's the Scratch lowest Y point, negative. So if I press up, it'll go up. If I press down, it'll go down, and then it'll stop because it's the maximum. See, -180 is the maximum anything can go. You can also keep track of the sprite's movement over there, and see if I go down, it just goes down with it. If I go up, it goes up with it. It causes it to go there. This is just the live count for the Y position. There's also the live count for the X position, which I'll get to scripting in a moment. So don't mind me. I'm just going to duplicate this. I'll quickly duplicate this, and I'll change this to left and right. I'll get rid of these blocks because this is the Y block, and I'll change it to X, change X by 10, and change X by -10, so that I have to go left and right. And as you can see, I can already start moving anyhow. I can go to this corner if I wanted to. I can go here. I can go there. It just keeps, since I'm going up and down, left and right, I can move anyhow I enjoy with this simple scripting. And we can also continue with this simple scripting you can do. You can screenshot, memorize, and it just allows your character to move about anyhow you like it. And if you only want your character to move left and right, we can get rid of the up and down scripting, causing it to only move left and right. I'll get rid of this. And now my character cannot go up or down, it will only go left and right. And that's all for the basics. I think you can go use a YouTube tutorial, or you can come to Scratch and they have custom-made tutorials like how to hide a sprite and show a sprite, how to animate a sprite, how to glide around, change sizes of sprite, add backdrop, add a sprite. Add backdrop and sprite is actually kind of simple. You just click on this. If you want to paint your own, you can paint. If you want to make, just choose a custom. You can choose custom. If you want a surprise, like a random sprite, it will choose, and you can upload your own sprite into the website. Everything same for backdrop. You just click on the little magnifying glass icon and to load up all the backdrop there is. You can also use flitters to show and remove some backdrops, and everything is the same for the sprites. There are many sprites used for different purposes, and you can use to make your own coding, your game, your story, or your whatever. Even for business purposes you can use. Well, that's all. Thank you all for coming, and that is it.